Um, just a really quick story. I've been working in and around family homelessness for a lot of years in Missoula, and I would say that if a family was in trouble and they happened upon just talking to me, they happened upon talking to a good person, because I know a little bit about like just what the services are in Missoula. And I was driving by Walmart the other day, and my wife pulled over in our van. We had all our kids, and there was a mom, and she had two little kids, and she was just holding a sign there at Walmart. And the long story short is, after this really deep interaction where my kids tumbled out of the van and were like talking to the kids, and my wife's spending time with this lady, I left her there. And it's because there was not a place at this time where I could say, you can go here and they're going to be able to help you. And we didn't have her come to our house. So it's a very stark reality in Missoula. So a little background. The Interfaith Collaborative, basically what we do is we go around and we do listening within all of our congregations. We work with 20 congregations, and we try to understand what their passions are, like what they really want to do to serve the community. And out of all of our 20 congregations, family, housing, and shelter was the number one thing that came out. This is out of over 400 different listening sessions in all of our congregations. And so what we do is we bring together everybody that has something to do with family housing. So the YWCA, a bunch of different congregations, anybody you can think of that works in and around family housing. And we say, what is going on in Missoula in regards to why we have a 4 to 6 week wait list, even for shelter for families in Missoula. Family Promise has an average of a 4 to 6 week wait list. And the YWCA and any of the other programs have about that long of a wait list as well. So what's going on, and how do we create something that's going to be adequate in Missoula? So that's what we've been doing over the course of the last year. It's been, like I said, it's been the director of the YWCA, the director of Mountain Home, the director of Word, the 10-year plan to end homelessness, if you've heard that, a number of different clergy members that have come and put together this proposal for moving forward. So that's where it's coming from. If you take a look at, which color is it? The blue one. I'm just going to give a quick overview of it, and then talk about kind of where we're at in the process, and then I want to just do some time to ask some questions with you all. Sound okay? And also, have you gotten a chance to look at this at all? Any of you? Okay.
The senator.
All right. Okay. So we spent a lot of time combing through names on wait lists and crossing them off, averaging numbers of people on wait lists over the course of years, and trying to come up with some kind of, like, here's the scope of what we're working with here, okay? And what we've understood is that on any given night, there are 30 families that need access, that need to be in shelter, that need to be in Family Promise, that need to be in one of the other programs in Missoula, like the YWCA. And they can't be because they're full. I mean, that's the bottom line here, okay? There's a lot of other numbers that we're dealing with that are important there. The really specific number that we're working with right now is 30 families, okay? So that's 30 families. Family Promise houses 4 families at a time. The YWCA, Ada's Place, houses 7 families at a time. So right now we're at 11, and our needed growth is to be able to grow by 30, okay? The reality is that this grows and it shrinks seasonally, it grows over time, shrinks over time also, right? So So that's one important thing. The vision that these folks have come together with, I think it's a worthy vision. I do think it's a vision that our congregations can get behind. And it's a vision for Missoula that if a family loses their housing, they're going to have a place to go that night, and they're going to have the support that they need to get back on their feet, right? That we can create what we need to be able to do that in Missoula. That's the vision. And if you look at this blue sheet some more, under proposal, those bullet points, these are just the basic aspects of what we're talking about. One is that it is able to shelter 31 families at a time, but have flexibility to grow and shrink, and be able to, like, up to 50 sometimes, because in the winter it grows, right? That's very important. The other important thing is that there's one place that families can go when they're in crisis, and there's somebody there that can say what's going on, they can assess what's really going on, they can support people that just need those few nights of a place to be. They can support people that need more intensive things like mental health treatment and alcohol or drugs treatment, that need a lot more long-term support, right? So that's another important thing. The third is that it is able to support both, like I kind of already referenced, families that are just, they're going to need help just for a couple weeks or a month or a couple months, and they're going to be back on their feet. And families that are maybe have grown up in the kind of generational poverty, and their way of learning how to operate in the world, they need to learn some new skills and new habits that are going to help them be successful, right? So that's important. It needs to be a place where there is access to things like mental health services and addiction treatment and job skills training and just the social support that is needed for some families. And it needs to be able to have and maintain really deep partnerships from congregations. And this isn't just coming from congregations, this is coming from the county government, this is coming from social service agencies. There's this understanding that our congregations have this deep and beautiful thing that we just witnessed this morning with intergenerational community and positive people that can connect and that we can build relationships with people that last. And that's a very beautiful thing. So those are all the aspects of the proposal. There's basically two different things that are on the table here. One is to, with Family Promise anyways, one is to take everything that Family Promise does in terms of hosting families, meals, spending time with, case management, and instead of hosting in our own congregations, where we have this capacity thing, like 4 families at a time, right? And moving that to a central location where it's bigger, and instead of the families rotating among our congregations, we go and we are hosting them at a central site. Okay, so that's basically one thing. The other potential model is you keep Family Promise the way it is, you keep the YWCA the way it is, and you try to build something new that would it'd be another thing that we would build in the community. Those are really, there's a lot of details in all of this, but those are the two basic options that there's real choices that we need to make around. Okay? So, I don't want to load you up with a whole bunch of information. I really want to laser in on the real kind of questions of concern here. Um,